Hello everyone, welcome to my introductory class on farm forestry and agroforestry. Myself Dr. Sushma Kirketa, Assistant Professor, Department of Farm Forestry, Sarguja University, Ambikapur, Chhattisgarh. Let us first discuss what is farm forestry. As the name suggests, this is the combination of farm and the forestry, as you can see in this slide. Actually, farm forestry practices, what is it? Putting the right plant in the right place for the right purpose. This is what you are going to see in this farm forestry. So let us first start with the introduction. The National Agriculture Policy 2000 emphasized the role of agroforestry. For what? Because of its efficient nutrient cycling, nitrogen fixation, organic matter addition, and for improving drainage and underlining the need of diversification by promoting integrated and holistic development of rainfed areas on watershed basis through involvement of community to augment biomass production through agroforestry and farm forestry. Actually, the Task Force on Greening India for Livelihood Security and Sustainable Development of Planning Commission 2001, this has recommended that for sustainable agriculture, agroforestry may be introduced. For an area of about 14 million hectare, out of which 46 million hectare are irrigated, that are degraded due to soil erosion, waterlogging and salinizations. So for integrated and holistic development of rainfed areas, agroforestry is to be practiced over the area of 14 million hectare out of 96 million hectare. So to start, let us see the definitions of agroforestry. As you can see in this slide, it is a sustainable management system for land that increases overall production, combines agriculture crops, tree crops and forest plants and or animals simultaneously or sequentially, and applies management practices that are compatible with cultural patterns of local population. Then there are so many definitions you can see. Then other definitions you can see like agroforestry, a land use that improves deliberate retention, introduction or mixture of trees or other woody perennials in crop or animal production field to benefit from the resultant ecological and economical interactions. Overall, you will see what is the main purpose of introducing this agroforestry. Before that, let us see the historical background of this agroforestry. From where this agroforestry originated, is it a new technique or is it something which is we are following from ancient time? Let us see that. So if we see the origin of agroforestry practices, that is growing trees with food crops and grasses, it is believed that it has been during the Vedic era, ancient period, that you can say 1000 BC. The agroforestry as a science is introduced only recently, but it has been practiced long back. In Central America, it has been a traditional practice for a long time for farmers to plant about 24 species on a small piece of land, configuring them in different planes. If we talk about Europe, until Middle Ages, it has been a general custom to clear fell, degraded forests, burn slash, cultivate food crops for varying periods on cleared area, and plant trees before, along with, or after sowing agriculture crops. Then in certain Far East countries practice, people clear forest for agriculture use. They deliberately spare certain trees which by the end of rice growing season provided partial canopy of new foliage to prevent excessive exposure of soil to sun. Then there was an establishment of International Council for Research in Agroforestry, which we call it as ICRAF, in 1977, which was then renamed in 1991 as the International Center for Research in Agroforestry. Then after that, during 2001-2, ICRAF adopted a new brand name, which we call it as a World Agroforestry Center, which reflects their ICRAF's global reach and also their more balanced research and development agenda. However, the legal name of International Center for Research in Agroforestry will remain unchanged. Then if we talk about India, our country, it has been organized research in agroforestry was initiated in 1983 by the establishment of All India Coordinated Research Project on Agroforestry by ICAR at 20 centers. And later on it was established a National Research Center for Agroforestry at Jhansi in 1988. At present, around 39 centers of agroforestry are working in the country. So if we see the traditional agroforestry system in India, you will see we have 10 types: shifting cultivation slash and burn system, then tongia system, home garden or homestead cultivation, plantation based agroforestry system, scattered trees on farmland, trees on farm boundaries, woodlots, systems for soil conservation amelioration, shelter belt, trees on rangeland. So there are so many traditional systems you will see in India which were being followed. So next we will see the possible impacts of agroforestry. First one, you can say controlling poverty through increase in income by higher production of agroforestry produce from home consumption and market. Then we have food security by restoring farm soil fertility for food crops and production of fruits, vegetable, nuts and edible oils. Then next, very important, empowerment to women farmers and other less advantaged rural residents whose right to land are insecure through better negotiations. The next is reducing deforestation and the pressure on forests by providing fuel wood grown on farms. Then increasing buffering capacity of farmers against the effect of global climatic change on farm, tree crops and tree cover. Then improving soil health of the farm through ameliorated microclimate and nutrition level. Then augmenting accessibility to medicinal trees for cure of common and complex diseases. Next, we will see the general features of agroforestry. First is intentional, then intensive, interactive and integrated. Intentional, there is a combination of trees, crops and or animals are intentionally designed and managed as a whole unit rather than as individual elements. Then intensive, agroforestry practices are intensively managed to maintain their productive and protective functions. These practices often involve annual operations such as cultivation and fertilizations. Then it is interactive because agroforestry management seeks to actively manipulate the biological and physical interactions between the tree, crop and the animal component. The goal is to enhance the production of more than one harvestable component at a time while also providing conservation benefits. Then it is integrated. The tree, crop and or animal components are structurally and functionally combined into a single integrated management unit. Next is the features of agroforestry. that are intentional, intensive, interactive, and integrated. Intentional means there is a combination of trees, crops, and or animals are intentionally designed and managed as a whole unit rather than as individual elements. Then intensive, because agroforestry practices are intensively managed to maintain their productive and protective functions. These practices often involve annual operations such as cultivation and fertilizations. Then it is interactive, because agroforestry management seeks to actively manipulate the biological and physical interactions between the tree crop and the animal component. The goal is to enhance the production of more than one harvestable component at a time, while also providing conservation benefits such as non-point source, water pollution control, or wildlife habitat. Then it is integrated. The tree, crop, and or animal component are structurally and functionally combined into a single integrated management unit. Integration may be horizontal or vertical and above or below ground. Such integration it utilizes more of the productive capacity of the land and helps balance economic production with resource conservation. So that's all for today. Detail we will see in the next video. Thanks a lot.